Just a couple of weeks ago, Apple released its version of an affordable flagship phone with the new iPhone 16e. But now Google is heading back with the new Pixel 9a. And from what I've seen, Google's version is actually a much better deal. So let's see what's going on. From the front, it looks a lot like the standard Pixel 9a, with the 9a sporting the same 6.3-inch screen with a 120Hz refresh rate and a surprisingly strong 2700 nits of peak brightness. Meanwhile, on the inside, the 9a features a Tensor G4 chip, just like you get on its more expensive siblings, along with other handy features like an IP68 rating for dust and water resistance, and Google's standard 7 years of OS updates, feature drops, and security patches. But then Google went and did something a bit surprising by giving the 9a a 5100 mAh battery, which is technically the biggest power pack in any member of the Pixel 9 family. That includes the Pixel 9 Pro XL, though only just by a little bit. Regardless, Google says this gives the 9a the best longevity of any Pixel on sale today, which is just awesome. Then, if we flip this thing around, you'll see some other changes like a new iris purple back, which joins the existing peony, porcelain, and obsidian hues. But the thing that probably jumps out the most is the lack of a camera bar, which has been present on practically all of Google's phones dating back to the Pixel 6. Instead, you get a simple window that sits almost flush with the back of the device, which is kind of a nice change. Google says it was inspired by the shape of a water drop, which you can sort of see if you twist it around and look at it from the side. Now, obviously you don't get a dedicated zoom. This is a more budget-friendly phone after all. But you do have support for super res zoom along with a 48 megapixel main sensor that is similar but not quite the same as the one used on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and a 13 megapixel ultrawide. The 9a also features an included built-in AI macro focus feature so you can get up really close to things, on top of supports for all your standard Pixel-specific camera tools like Add Me, Best Take, Magic Editor, and more. But critically, because it's powered by the Tensor G4, the 9a has access to almost all of the same AI features available on the rest of the Pixel 9 line, including stuff like Gemini Live Video, the Pixel Recorder app, Pixel Studio, not to mention all the other general software features like Google VPN, car crash detection, and so on. Now, unfortunately, we were only allowed to film outside of the phone and its home screen, so I wasn't able to test out how well those apps ran. Now, all told, Google seems to be feeling pretty confident about this phone, and they're saying that the Pixel 9a will have the best cameras on any phone under $500. Now, that's not exactly an outlandish claim because Google's photo processing has been top-notch for quite some time, but hey, there is that price. The Pixel 9a is going to start at $499, so they're definitely squeaking in right in under that line. Okay, so what's the catch going on here? We're talking about a $499 phone that has a lot of the features that you get on the standard Pixel 9, but for $300 less. So there are a few compromises. The first being that charging speeds are staying pretty much the same, and that means pretty slow. Wired charging is going to be 23 watts, and then wireless charging is going to be even slower at 7.5 watts. And compared to your standard flagships that are closer to 15 or more, that is a pretty big difference, and one of the big reasons you might want to upgrade to that full Pixel 9. Some other changes is that you only get 8 gigs of RAM instead of 12, like on the standard Pixel 9. So there's a little bit of that hit to multitasking and performance there as well. And you do still get Gorilla Glass on the front, but in back, you're going to be dealing with about 85% recycled plastic. So not quite that same level of premium feel, but it is a very nice matte texture. All told, I mean, those are kind of compromises that I can live with, especially when you're saving $300. But as always, we're not going to know for sure until we have a chance to check this thing out in full for our review. So, as always, stay tuned to Engadget for more hands-ons, news, and reviews.